isang buto, todo-todong pagkakayod. Dahil pag may tinanim, tsak na may aanihin. Tanim na kape ay hihingo, sa tulong nyo di susuko. At ang pagbangon natin ang gigising sa mundo.
Babangon tayo, susulong tayo.
Dahil ang pagbangon natin ito ang gigising sa pangarap mo.
Napakasarap.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we will be talking about the pre-colonization Philippines and Rizal. This is to be informative of what Philippines before the colonization of Spaniards and how did Rizal take part in this event. I am Guillermo Antonio M. Antonio.
I am Tiba Lagtas. You're watching The Loud and Lunch. Good evening, people in the Philippines. Tonight's topic is a hot as a sizzling plate. Together with us are two honorable people who enlightened us the information they gathered as historians in our beloved country.
Let's welcome Ms. Trisha Nicole Bulaon and Ms. Carla Joyce Escoto.
Good evening, ladies, and thank you for giving us time to talk to you.
Good evening, Dee and Tony. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Good evening to this amazing host. We were really looking forward to be here. It's an honor.
I'm glad and excited to talk to you right now, as excited as the audience. The first question is, did the pre-colonial Philippines exist even before Spain?
Before the Spaniards came into the Philippines, there were existing culture of the Philippines. The Filipinos lived in settlements called barangays before the colonization of the Philippines by the Spaniards. As the unit of government, a barangay consisted from 30 to 100 families. It was headed by a datu and was independent from the other. A datu offered protection to all its subordinates. Since barter was the leading form of trade back then, tax called buwis or hana, which came in forms of crops or goods, which the people living under the datu share a portion of their harvest or property in exchange for security and protection.
That's awesome information. I can see that our country back when then was progressing on itself.
Yes, I believe so. And as a Filipino, I was proud when I found out about that.
That's undeniably amazing. For our second question, was our pre-colonial country a nation? Why or why not?
Yes, our country back then was a nation. If we consider the characteristics of a nation, it consists people, territory, government, and sovereignty. The people are those who inhabit our place before. They are the citizens of our country. The territory we had are called barangays, which was derived from the Malay word balangay, which means sailboat. It was an independent settlement of hundreds of families, usually situated along a riverbank or at the mouth of a river spilling out to the sea. The government in pre-colonial Philippines was governed by a set of statutes, both unwritten and written, and contained provisions with regards to civil and criminal laws. Usually, it was the datu and the village elders who promulgated such laws, which were then announced and explained to the people by a town crier called the Umaluhokan. Although not as advanced as our own today, the fact that our ancestors already possessed a working judicial and legislative system just goes to show that they were well versed in the concept of justice. In sovereignty, the datu should not be bothered by other datus.
Wow, our country before was awesome.
Yes, fun fact, using the ancient system of writing called baybayin, the pre-colonial Filipinos educated themselves very well, so much so that when the Spanish finally arrived, They were shocked to find out that the Filipinos possessed a literacy rate higher than that of Madrid.
Philippines is a great country even before. That's pretty cool. For our next question, what was Jose Rizal's view on nationalism, and can you explain it?
Rizal's concept of nationalism. Rizal was the first to give the name Filipino. In writing to the people of the Philippines, before then it applied only to Spaniards who lived in the archipelago. The natives were called Indians. In his annotations to Marcas Sucesos de las Islas Filipinas, Rizal pointed out that Filipinos had their own culture before the coming of the Spaniards. In the introduction of Christianity, it has shifted our beliefs and the culture we previously had. They presented us the concept of the Philippines as our territory, an area that was once for Balang. Then we no longer have sovereignty. We became under the government of Spanish. From his childhood words, he took pride in his native language and culture. Rizal's nationalism is of the inclusive, caring type. This is spelled out in the aims of La Liga Filipina: mutual protection in everyone or necessity, defense against all violence and injustice, and encouragement of instruction, agriculture, and commerce. It is a kind of nationalism that is compatible with a caring, globalizing, and interdependent world.
That's maybe the reason why become Jose Rizal, symbol of the Philippines struggle for independence.
Probably, sir.
Thank you for our fourth question and last question. What did Jose Rizal want to accomplish when he learned about pre-colonial history?
He wanted to recover the pre-colonial past that was erased from the memory of Filipinos by colonization. This includes the destruction of pre-colonial records and artifacts that could have thrown light on the nature of pre-colonial society. According to Rizal's logic, the corrupt Spanish colonial bureaucracy relentlessly exploited the Filipinos but blamed the underdevelopment of the people on their presumed indolence. Rizal's aim was to show that this view was erroneous through recourse to both logic and historical fact. Rizal went into pre-colonial history to address the colonialist view of Filipino indolence. The facts proved that pre-colonial Filipino society was relatively advanced, suggesting that the presumed backwardness was due to colonialism.
A bloodless way of fighting. He did not wield a sword but rather a pen, to awaken the nationalism of the Filipinos.
It's such a good way to fight until it cost him his life.
Yes, and maybe because of his works, many Filipinos consider him as the national hero, even though we have none yet.
Yes, sir. For some.
Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing us those important topics. We learned a lot, and I hope those people watching be proud of outcome of Rizal hard work to give us become the independence we once had. Bye!
That's all for tonight. I'm your host, Gillier Anthony M. Antonio, and this is The Loud Lunch.
Huh? Wala kayo sa Pojibay Choco Trio ko? Pojibay Choco! Pojibay Solte Caramel at ang Pojibay Dark Choco. Pojibay! Ubay sa choco, ubay sa sarap! Poji ko yan!